Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome to Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye. I figured this might be a good place to start. When I loaded the game up, it launched this dialogue box. Apparently, in testing, they have found that it's a little intense for some people. We're not going to turn on reduced frights, at least certainly not at first, but just so everybody's aware, apparently it can be a little bit of a thing. A new museum exhibit is now available in the Village Observatory. So I believe that is how we launch Echoes of the Eye. I don't really exactly know what we're getting into. Obviously, as soon as I knew that there was an expansion for Outer Wilds coming out, I stopped reading things about it because, like, how could I not play that? If you are not familiar with Outer Wilds, this is probably not a good place to start. I did a series on the channel. There'll be a link to that in the description. You should maybe start there with this thing. Before we get in here, I just want to talk a little bit about sort of like where I'm at with this. I think I ended the Outer Wilds series a little bit non-committally because I was still kind of processing it. I was a little thrown by the structure of the ending, and I meant to come back and release a video that sort of like clarified my feelings once I had figured out what they were. And I don't think I ever did that. And the reason for that is that the Outer Wilds came out at a very tumultuous time in my life. And sort of the combination of the Outer Wilds and Disco Elysium helped pull me through something very, very difficult. And the game has... The point I'm trying to make here is that the last time you heard me speak in any official capacity about the Outer Wilds, I probably sounded a little, like, uncertain, but in the interim, this game has come to be tremendously important to me, and I really think that it's one of the most beautiful and moving pieces of art that I have ever experienced. And I sort of wish that I had made a video somewhere in that interim period talking about how that happened, how my understanding of it evolved, and what it sort of did for me. Because I'm not going to say that it saved my life or anything, but it did have a part in saving my life. So that's all thoughts about the original Outer Wilds, which leads us to Echoes of the Eye. I have some trepidation here. Like, on the one hand, this is more of this thing from the people who made this thing that I feel so strongly about. But on the other hand, I feel like Outer Wilds is a very complete experience on its own, and I worry that I don't know what they could add to it that would feel like, you know, I worry that there's nowhere to go but down to some extent. So yeah, sort of a mixed trepidation. I have great hope that the people who have produced a wonderful thing will have produced more wonderful thing, and simultaneously a concern that somehow they will break the spell. So yeah, that's where I'm at as we're entering the thing, and I guess 3.5 minutes is enough preamble. Let's just go ahead and do it. I don't know exactly what this is going to do. Like, I guess it's just going to start us at the beginning of a loop. And then there's a thing we go look at in the museum and it makes something happen. Hey there, pal. Pal of mine, friend whose name I definitely remember. Why is the look speed so high? Okay, yeah, this all looks normal. I'm ready if you are, buddy. Make sure you don't crash the ship the first time you put it down. Ahaha, that's very funny. Yeah. Need to get the launch codes. Okay, hold on a second. This look sensitivity is bananas. Down. Down some. Probably this too. Okay. That's better. Still fast. So it did prompt me to make a new profile when I launched the thing, but like obviously this is still the install on which we beat the game not long ago. So I don't know. Let's just go up to the observatory if I can remember. How do we get up to the observatory? It's been a minute. Let's just go up to the observatory and we'll see what's up. And for real, I hope that people, I hope that nobody is trying to take this as their introduction to the Outer Wilds. And like, I rarely say this because I do want you to watch my videos because I am reliant on the revenue from this YouTube channel to live. But also, like, the way that people should experience Outer Wilds is by playing Outer Wilds. And then, like, after you've done that, maybe come back and watch the videos. I feel pretty strongly about that, honestly. Yeah, I need to do, I don't know, a video essay or something where I talk about sort of like where I ended up with this thing. Hey, look, it's that creepy Nomai statue. Thanks for all the saving my life that you done. Okay. Is this new? This it says new exhibit right on it, so you can't possibly miss it. What is the story with this new exhibit? The radio tower here on Timberhearth was built to receive transmissions from our deep space satellite, and to this day still houses the first ever photos taken of the entire solar system. These photos were made possible by the deep space satellite's unusual vertical orbit that carries it high above and below the plane of the solar system. Above and below here, obviously, you know, relative, etc. Thanks to a recent upgrade, the deep space satellite is now responsible for generating the real-time solar system map used by our newest astronauts. That's cool. So, whatever it is we're doing, it's going to have to do with that, yeah? I kind of expected that was going to kick off a little bit more than... old creepy shard. It's like coming home. They say you can't go home again, but like, bullshit. I did it. Look, I'm here. What do philosophers know anyway? Okay, local conditions are good. Time to get our newest astronaut off the ground. And of course, we have our Know My Translator. What's your plan once you're in space? Am I allowed to say I want to go check out that thing? I want to go somewhere no one's gone before. That's certainly the case. I like it. You'll have plenty of options to choose from, no doubt. Should you choose to go to Dark Bramble, be very careful. Yep, never going to Dark Bramble ever again. Alright, I would love to... I am ready to get off this rock. If we could just with the launch codes then, please. Get out there, let me know. Okay. So we got our launch codes. Let's see if we get flashed by the statue. I'm just kind of curious if it did load me into a new... Okay, yeah, it does seem like it has loaded me into a totally new game. Well, if we end up needing to do something out there in the galaxy, then in theory, we should know how to do it already. Okay, perfectly normal day, perfectly normal stuff. Hey, y'all. Thanks for all the hard work. Time to go die in outer space. I did, in fact, get a look at the Nomai statue. It looked at me. It opened its eyes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The statue was doing what? So its eyes opened, and then you saw images from your own memories and glowing lights flying around? I did not tell you that. Clearly you are in on this whole thing. You sure you're okay to launch, like, medically speaking? Listen, nobody is ready to go into space. That's how going into space works. Alright. Let's enough dialogue. You and I have already had this conversation so many times. The launch tower is this away. I knew that. Everybody knows that. Ah, yes, the elevator, right. Right, the place where we spawned. I remember this video game. I played this one time. So, like, I've mentioned that I sort of, like, I'm approaching this with a bit of trepidation. I have concerns. But I will also say that the moment I opened the game up and it started playing that song at me, the rush of emotion was, like, surprisingly intense. Like, I am actually, like, very, very glad to be back here doing the thing again. I'm gonna remember to put on my spacesuit right now. We're gonna put on the spacesuit right now. So that... Okay. How does one... Right. I know how spaceships work. Who says I don't? Okay, just get clear of Atmo. Pretty easy. The planet doesn't really have a lot of it. So... Yep, just kinda... not doing a great job. Catching a lot of solar wind, it feels like. All right, my number one experience with the sun is that it is always trying to kill me. So there's the binary twins, right? The ash twin and the... So what would I... The real-time map. How would I use this potentially to locate... Again, don't really know what I'm doing, just kind of... Oh, hold on. We're like leaving the system at a remarkable rate. Let me adjust a little bit here. Yeah, don't really know what I'm going for. We had a look at the new exhibit. I was kind of hoping that I would just be able to get a reading on the, how do I... Sorry, still kind of getting it back. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to just get a reading on the station, because it seemed to have a pretty elliptical orbit. So I guess my assumption was that it must just be at one of its close points. Maybe that's not a safe assumption. So there's the white hole, there's Dark Bramble, to which we will never return. The interloper's hanging out. Maybe I should get on the interloper? Because the interloper has a pretty wide orbit, right? It's probably not going to go to the right spot, though. Maybe what I should do is go back to Okay. Maybe what I ought to do is go back to Timberhearth and have some idea what the hell I'm doing before I leave. The thing is, I was just excited to get back out and doing it, right? So wait, is that the Addle Rock? Am I looking at Timberhearth? I should slow down. I am moving very quickly. What is that? Okay, that's the Outer Rock. Oh, that's the Quantum Moon. I got lucky. And, yeah, let's match up here. I got lucky and found the Quantum Moon hanging out around the place I was already planning to go. You know what? We're going to engage the autopilot. My memory of the autopilot is that it does a bad job, and I hate it. We're going to see if it has changed at all. I believe at some point after I played the game, they did release an update where they changed the behavior of the autopilot a little bit to make it somewhat less likely to hurl you into the sun. Which, to me, sounds a little bit like cowardice. If you trust a computer, you deserve to end up in the sun. Is my autopilot... This is what I'm talking about. The autopilot seems to be cutting it a little close to me, and it has very little respect for the solidity of the Addle Rock. That's a curious group of stars. Alright, we're just gonna take it slow here. Get ourselves into sort of like Atmo mode. Fire those thrusters. Look at that. Who has ever been a better spaceship pilot? I ask you. This button is the one I wanted. Okay. I'm just gonna sort of fly myself back over to the city. If I can remember where on the planet it is. There it is. There it is. Oh no, this is the communication tower for the new thing, isn't it? Yeah, this would probably be a good spot to start. You know, here's the thing. We always get there eventually. Definitely keeping my suit on. Another thing I learned from the Outer Wilds is that I do not trust planets. Just sort of in general. Yeah, no kidding. Signal scope is accessed by pressing all the keys on the keyboard. Okay, that's something. That's the scout launcher. Not that helpful. You know, it's been a minute. That's a flashlight. That makes sense. F is for flashlight. Aha, aha. Well, that's just brilliant right there. Huh. I mean, that's definitely a pretty quantum rock type sound. What all is going on in here? And we're recording. It's been 2 days since the launch of the deep space satellite, and I'm about to view the first batch of photos. Let the record show that on this historic day, Outer Wilds Ventures has... they're printing, here we come. Stars above, will you look at that? There's stars, and they're above. There's Brittle Hollow, and look, there's Hollow's lantern, that's Giant Steep, and the Quantum Moon. I'm speechless, completely speechless. Every single astral body in our magnificent solar system, looking stunning from every angle in each of these 3 images. And in color, no less. Now this is art. I could stare at these photos forever. Doesn't Timberhearth look tiny from... Oh, hold on. What is that? Well, that can't be right. That's not even possible. Am I interpreting this photo correctly? What's even stranger is it doesn't show up in either of the other photos, just this one. Well, there must have been an equipment malfunction, I suppose. That's the only sensible explanation for it. I'll radio Gabbro and ask them to go examine the satellite's lens for defects. So there is something in... Okay, well that's probably just Gabbro. There's something in one of these photos that shouldn't be, that is not explainable, so this all looks pretty normal. Giant Steep, the twins, that's Brittle Hollow, so you know this is Timberhearth, presumably. That's probably the Sun Station. That all looks quite normal. That's an extra body, isn't it? Because if that's Timberhearth, and that's Giant Steep, and that's the twins, and that's Brittle Hollow, and that's the Bramble, this is an unknown body between the satellite and the sun. Okay. Satellite angle 40 degrees. I wonder if it's only visible from a certain angle. That's definitely interesting. And surely that is what we have been sent here to find. And now we have a read on this this weird unidentified frequency. Zoom. It's coming from the dish, one assumes. I'm trying to see if I'm picking that up anywhere else. Nope, this is the only read I'm getting on that right now. But, you know, that could be a distance thing. The physics of me being able to see the smoke from a campfire on the moon. Gosh, I love this game. Okay, hold on. Let me take one more look at the, let me take one more look at that picture. So the angle that we have this extra body from is pretty relatively below the sun, it looks like. I don't know if this is below or above, but you know, if we're considering sort of like the plate as horizontal. I do wish that this shack felt a little bit more secure. But okay. All right, I'm getting an idea. We will look toward the sun, and we will quantum moon, always creepy. Okay, it's a chair. For a second, at a distance, I was like, is Jake from not Jake. Is Finn from Adventure Time over at that campfire? But no, it's just a strangely shaped chair. It actually looks like it's probably one of the seats from one of the ships, right? Despite my checking on them at least 1,000 times over, the images are still not ready to print over in the radio tower. Well, it's like they say, a watched satellite never transmits data. Haha, that's a little joke for you, Journal. No one says that. Someday I'll have to study the mechanics of how time manages to slow to a syrupy crawl whenever I'm anticipating something. In the meantime, I've turned to Gabbro, our resident expert in leisurely whiling away the hours, who recommends the following. Gabbro's 3 foolproof steps for dozing off. 1. Light a nice cozy campfire and get comfortable. 2. Gaze deeply into the serene warmth. And 3. Let time begin to slip away as you allow the flames to lull you into a peaceful slumber. If Gabbro knew I'd taken notes, they'd probably think I'd finally cracked, but I refuse to accept sass from an astronaut who deliberately burns their marshmallows. People did yell at me that I am not doing my marshmallows enough during the original series. You know what I like is marshmallows. Like, I don't really feel like they need to be annihilated. You know, like a completely untoasted marshmallow is also very good, is all I'm saying. So yeah, there's a time passage mechanic that I did not realize in our initial playthrough, where you can like meditate at a campfire and allow some time to go by. And my suspicion is that the purpose of that note is to allow you to pick that up from a fresh file without having to go and find Gabbro and do the entire thing. Well, I do believe this is new music. So the sun's looking pretty mad. Yeah, you know what? All right. Just one for old time's sake. I'm going to hurl us into the sun right quick. Because I think we are probably pretty close to out of time. And then we'll tackle this mystery on a fresh loop, yeah? Hello, brightness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Once again, hoping that everybody who is watching is already familiar with the game, because otherwise, that's going to be a difficult strategy to understand. Alright, just out here having a normal one. Let's go fly to a place. Jumping for joy immediately upon waking up. Oh, buddy, I already got the codes. Huh, I must be inhaling more fumes than I realized. That stuff is potent. Well, if you got the codes, I'm not going to stop you. Good luck, and take care of that ship. Yeah, well. What I can say is that you will have your ship back. I will take care of it for a certain definition of take care. Alright, suit up, in seat, and go. And the thing is, go. Alright, so we're just gonna pitch sort of like way out here, right? I'm gonna move us way, way, way off of this rotational plane. I don't really know how to interpret 40 degrees. We're just going to do this, and I'm going to roll us slowly as I do. And we're going to see if anything becomes visible. I mean, obviously we're picking up... I don't know why I even thought that was going to be useful. We're picking up so much noise. I can tune this thing to some degree. Apparently I took us out of the solar system a little bit aggressively, and it would like to return us. What is that? So yeah, there's a way that I do not remember to have the scope only pick up certain things. Yeah, sorry. Let me focus on my driving for a damn second here. All right. So, I guess I'm just gonna rotate us around. I'm gonna try to like match the orbit of the satellite, and we'll see if we can find an angle from which a body becomes visible. Which means I guess we're gonna go back through the rotational plane here, trying to keep a healthy distance from the sun. I should also, yeah, you know, just like... Okay, the thing I was seeing is just Whitehall Station. So you're the Quantum Moon. Are you the Quantum Moon? No, that's Timberhearth. You can see the dome. Okay, trying to make sure I'm not gonna slide us into the debris around Whitehall Station at an incredible speed or anything. Probably pull back into the solar system a little bit. Yeah, just the experience of being out here again. It's really like, it's bringing up some feelings. And there's very little that I love more than having a mystery to solve. I feel like I'm having a hard time. I might have to remember how to operate the scope, because obviously, like, they gave us that weird signal for a reason to tune to, so that I could try to pick up the thing. What is that? It's quite far away, whatever it is. What is that? I don't know if that's, we're gonna go find out. I don't know if that's the goal or not. It is, at this point, really, really far away and getting really far awayer. We're catching it, in the sense that the speed at which it is moving away from us is decreasing, but it might take a bit. It might take a minute or two to really catch up with that. Now we're going to dial this one in manually, which is to say that I'm going to hit this object at an incredible speed. Oh, yep, look at all the stars. Just sort of... When you're out on the star field with nothing else to look at, and you're aware of what's going on, it's actually really obvious. Gosh, I hope whatever this is interesting enough to warrant the work. But it's like a small glowing... What are you? Shoot, no, that's not right. Autopilot me? I don't remember how to direct the thing downward. So I'm gonna let the autopilot do that down relative to our viewport. Yeah, I will admit I was not always great at the part where I fire the retros and slow down appropriately, and I have in fact hurled us many kilometers past the target. all right. Me and the autopilot, we're gonna slowly learn how to trust each other once again. I really have no idea what this is, though. We reset about 8 minutes ago, right? So the sun's not looking too happy right now, but it can't be... We're only like a third of the way through the next loop. Also, apologies for my... I know I sound a little nasal and snuffly. The sickness that I was going through has come to an end, but sadly, my seasonal allergies have really started in earnest at exactly the same time, so that's fun. Well, is this the satellite? We are certainly a red glowy thing. It is, in fact, the satellite. Howdy. Howdy, little friend. Well, you're doing a great job. That's a recorder. Huh. Well, I hate this so much. I do not like being outside the ship. Just kind of in space. But we're getting out of the ship just kind of in space. Then I slammed myself into the ship. Alright. Let's just do a quick match. And then... Gabbro here, checking in on the Deep Space Satellite per ground control's request to check out a possible equipment problem. Seahornfells, I do too work. You know, sorry, this is Gabbro's voice, right? You know, I wouldn't mind being a satellite. It's peaceful out here, among the distant stars and the soft, velvety darkness. I bet it's awfully nice for naps, too. Oh, right, the lens. All right, little satellite, let's see what the trouble is. Huh, everything looks a-okay, ground control. No dust or scratches on the lens, and no evidence of sparking or violent explosions. I guess that rules out an equipment malfunction after all. You hear that, pal? You're in great shape. Keep up the good work out here. Okay, so the satellite does have a degree reading on the outside. We are pretty far... Oop, that's not what I meant to press. We are pretty far from the angle at which it caught the weird reading. Alright, hold on. Math. Time for some quick math. Zoom out. Control. Okay, this is 140. So if this is 140 and we want 40, we have to go 100 degrees in one direction. But I don't know which one. I mean, I guess given where we're at, it's got to be up, right? Because 100 degrees in the other direction is just going to take us about this far from the other side of the plane. So probably we're talking about directly above. Madame, everything's floating apart. You know, space. Just outer space things. Okay, and the value's increasing. So just to double, triple check that, we're definitely heading downwards. So yes, we want to be above. Well, all right. The hell's my ship? I'm coming. All right, that's all good information. That's all good, useful information. Look at that, like a glove. So, Okay. If I can keep... Let me keep a lock on this. Because I think that'll keep the orbit of it visible in the computer. So, but that means I'm going the wrong way right now, aren't I? Yes. Yes, I am. Alright. We need to be past you. And basically we just need to track its orbit back the other direction. To what I estimate is approximately a straight downward view of the ecliptic plane, which is like, okay, doing a great job of it right now. That's my whole deal. How do I engage the bloody... Okay. So looking at the thing with the sun, I need to go this way. I'm pretty sure. Did you know that it is difficult to maneuver in three-dimensional space? It turns out it's true. And my chill at being out here and maneuvering and whatnot is somewhat damaged by the, yep, doing pretty good work here. Somewhat damaged by the blinking out of the stars. So, we definitely want to head... We want to move along a line that is going to bring us... Yeah, we want to rotate around the sun a little bit. Because right now, obviously, we're way off in the corner relative to where we need to be. Okay. Where's the I am here? So that's my satellite. Okay. What I am is far enough away from the sun that I'm off of the diagram. So let's try to fix that. Honestly, though, I don't hate the angle we've found for ourselves here. Alright, look who's remembered where all the buttons are. Alright, so now... let's fire the retros a bit and recalibrate. When I say a bit, I mean a huge amount. I might argue that I never actually got good at piloting over the course of our normal gameplay, and I think that I'm really continuing that trend in a very proud way here. Okay. So I'm not too far off. I need to get... So if I'm looking directly at the sun from that position, okay, I need to make a triangle of this to understand my motion. So like if that's that and that's that, oops, okay. Then I want to go this way, some significant amount. And we're gonna fire, just try not to take myself any further from the sun here. Let's try to match up a little. Sorry, at this point I don't want to be matching. Matching matches you with what you're locked onto, which is actually not what I want. We've made some pretty good progress. So if I'm drifting Okay. Made some pretty good progress, and now I'm drifting way out of my progress. This is hard. Alright, if I lock the sun, am I gonna lose the... No, okay, I do not lose the orbit. Cool. The other thing I could do here, if I can't figure this out before we, I'm comfortable moving in a bit. If I can't figure this out before we hit the end of the loop, what we can do is, just try to catch up with the satellite much earlier in the loop, because it probably goes through 40 degrees. Given its progress on its orbit here, it'll hit 40. It won't hit 40 degrees again before the sun blows up. But it must have hit it at some point, right? Let's just try to match with the sun right quick. We are not significantly closer than we started. So if I'm looking at the sun, if I can orient Giant Steep... Alright, if I'm looking at the sun and Giant Steep appears on my left, then that means that we're looking at the sun from approximately that angle, and what we need to do is go relative to our viewport down quite a bit. While not really changing distance from the sun too much. Oops, that's the wrong button for that then. Right, we're drifting toward it now, I think. Sort of. Alright, match me with the sun, match me with the sun. Let's stop here. I dialed it in a little bit, but as always, I accelerated too much, and we're going to drift away from the close point that we were at. Yeah, I always accelerate too much. I'm too aggressive. Okay, so we're actually pretty close. My hope here is that if we can get... Yeah, we're doing it. My hope here is that if we can get the object on the scope once, I can mark it in some way and be able to find it again. Because obviously we're not going to have enough time to do anything with it, even if I do locate it on this loop. In the end, pretty close, yeah? So if that's in the bottom left of my viewport, then I want to go up a bit. Then again, I could have this entirely backwards, and we might be going toward 220 degrees. I don't think so, though. Here comes the wrap it up music. You know, this was worth it just for that. Did I overshoot it? I did overshoot it. Okay, we're coming back. We're coming back. So we're moving down. Oh, you know what? I'm being very silly, though. I guess I'm just kind of assuming that the object is not moving in normal space, but like that wouldn't be the way that a thing in this game would work. It's in that position at that moment. yeah, probably even if I got myself to exactly where I think 40 degrees is on this thing, we wouldn't be able to see the object because the object is moving in space. Unless it's not. You know, we don't know what this thing is or what the rules are for it. It's clearly not a normal celestial body. I just want to say that I basically got there. I'm trying to find basically there. That's giant steep. All right. Well, I do think that we did like basically drift across the point. It's just that it was a little late. All right, let's die while doing a sick barrel roll. Oh, apologies. That's probably making some people in the audience nauseated. Here, we'll die while flying sick. What's worse than getting consumed by the sun? Getting consumed by the sun while also kind of wanting to puke. All right, let's go find the satellite as quickly as we can and just ride it, right? We'll just stay matched with the satellite while looking at the sun, and we'll happen across it at some point. So the satellite's a blinky red light that is visible from some considerable distance. It's good, wouldn't want to miss the button. Definitely important to illuminate the console there. And the spacesuit. You don't want to be putting on your spacesuit in the dark. Alright. So. Found the space. We found the satellite. That's like step one, right? Very quick. Very good moves. You know what? Autopilot, take me near that thing. I'm going to try to trust you. It was useful last time. So if I'm looking around, obviously that's going to affect the autopilot's efficacy to some degree. Again, tuning the signal scope may turn out to be a critical part of this. We're gonna try this plan first. Alright, we're just gonna follow this thing while more or less keeping an eye on the sun. Okay. I'm sure I'll have to continue adjusting here and there. But for the moment, let's just float. Now I sort of wish I'd gotten my thoughts about the game a little bit more assembled, so that I could just do some of that talking right now. I would be afraid, given the sort of the magnitude of my feelings about it, I'd be afraid to try to just wing it, even though I have sort of settled a little bit. I want to be in a position where I can see the readout. I don't know if that's really feasible. There we go. Alright, I'm with you, kid. Was I right, by the way? Yes. We're gonna end up above the plane, but not on the point above the plane where I thought we were going to. But above-ish. There it is. It doesn't look like an object so much as a hole. Well, let's go find out. I can't tell if it's moving across the surface of the sun or if I'm still moving, like, leftward relative to our viewport. It's making me a little uncomfortable as we approach it, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Is it... Am I just gonna pass through it? Or... Okay. Yep. Okay. Wow. Is that that's a surface? Okay. Well, let's do our best not to crash into the... It is actually very scary. All right. Like a glove. Ship won't stick. So this thing's not really generating any gravity. Well... I mean, I feel like we should just take the ship in if the space is big enough for the ship to go in. Oh, maybe it's a landing bay. Maybe it's a landing bay and I'm going in upside down. Hold on a second. Let me just... I do believe that that is what we have discovered here. Stop. Okay. Just let the computer help. Okay. Roll us gently. Little more. Well, okay. All right, so we can still see the outside architecture. That's the thing I was curious about. This is... By the way, can you tell that I'm toggling the flashlight? Not a great sign. We did not bring a powerful enough light. Yeah, see, right now I'm tuned to Outer Wilds Ventures. I don't know how to... Well, whatever. I'll figure it out between episode 1 and 2. I apologize for not being prepared with that knowledge. Although I guess I don't really know what to expect in terms of ways to stop. I mean, if the station's actually near the sun, then at some point we're just going to get consumed, right? But that hole could have just been a way of reaching the station. But then one assumes that the radiation from the sun could do the same thing. Right, I have limited O2. Yeah, that ain't no my. Hold on, let me... Spent so long screwing around in the thing. Let me go refill my O2 in the ship, and then we'll move out of the bay and actually start getting some work done here. All right. So we've got a language that is not Nomai. I'm hoping that we can learn to read it. Once again, flashlight is on. Maximum light. Oh. Okay. I should have stepped through a little faster. All right, all the way inside. Huh. That didn't start turning until I turned my flashlight on it. Oh, interesting. So, okay, we got to get that door open, right? This is actually going to be really hard. Oh. And oxygen rushes in. This is just wood. How could that possibly be the case? Oh my God. Okay. Does my boosters? No. Gravity's not reading very heavy here, but oh, I can probably. Yeah. Okay. Let's just get away from the wall a little bit. Try to steer us away from the walls. That looks important. Let's go there. Well, okay. My whole... Sorry, y'all, my entire brain went blank for a minute there. This is really not something I was expecting to see. Okay. Yup. So, disrepair. Do we know... I sort of wish that I was a little bit fresher in terms of the ship log stuff from the previous game. Although I guess there's no reason. What I was about to ask is, do we know if the Nomai needed oxygen? We know that we always see them in suits. There were definitely messages about how hostile some places were. They probably needed oxygen. But this isn't a Nomai. I don't know, like, obviously in my brain, alien equals Nomai here, but this is not a Nomai place, right? This belongs to whoever made that writing that we saw on the outside of the capsule. So this is probably just a different alien species. That's interesting. A different alien species with, I'm assuming, different proportions based on the height of this. You'll have to forgive me while I get my my jetpack legs back, so to speak, here. Okay, nothing of import down there. Interesting. Wow. I wonder what this is made out of. Like for the pigment and everything to have survived for so long and so clearly. It looks like they have trees. They almost look like owl people with antlers made of trees. Owl people is a little scary. Turn off the light. Wait, I don't want to interact with that until I'm ready to interact with that, although I think it's just a door that leads outside. So it's like a projection screen? What does that mean, forward? Oh, okay, it just means pick a direction and rotate. Okay, that doesn't do anything at all. What if I do this? Okay, it is in fact just a door that leads outside. So, it makes sense that a race of people where their whole technology metaphor is light-based, they would use this kind of like iconography. Although I will say that intuitively this feels backwards to my human brain. What the hell? Oh, I see. We have something of a different timer mechanism here. Oh, it's heavy. Okay. This is gonna kill us. This is gonna... Rocks, 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 rocks. Alright, I'm trying to stay under... Yeah, there it is. Well, I lived. I survived that one. Okay, yeah. So I was... I was curious. I was wondering what is gonna happen. How are we going to... Is there going to be an in-progress save somehow, or is there going to be a timer that keeps loop resetting us? And I think we may have just discovered our answer. Okay, I think I can probably get up on the land here. I lived. So we're gonna lose pieces of the... Boy, a flood on a ring world, though. They did it, by the way. I'm 100%. All of my worries are assuaged. I am 100,000% in for wherever it is they want to take me at this point. Well, I mean, it's not going to get any worse, though, right? It doesn't seem like there's more water. Like, there's no more, like, dam infrastructure to break. It's funny that as soon as I leave the ground, my suit reads 0 gravity. But actually, it's very hard to maneuver. Like, I basically can't get anywhere at all without the boosters on. I mean, there's certainly a star. Is that our star? Oh. Okay, on this side is the stuff I'm familiar with. This is something else entirely. So we're probably still going to have to deal with that timer. Okay, that makes sense. Well, there's still some buildings it looks like we could reach before things go totally awry. So let us endeavor to reach them. Okay. And I mean, as long as we have trees around, we don't really have limited fuel, right? Because we'll just blow O2. Although, do the boosters run when you're out of fuel? Because it seems entirely reasonable to me that they might not. We only got down to the point that we were using O2 for propellant a couple of times, I feel like. So this is one of those beams of light that grabbed the raft, or that signaled the thing that grabbed the raft. Is there a way to navigate in the air where this would be like a landing pad? I wonder if we can get over there. The current is potentially a problem. I love the idea of like a rapid flow inside of a ring world. This is so cool. I guess let's go down there. I think that's the only way. Ow. No, not great. Not great work on my part. Okay. Look at me improvising with the boosters and not getting sucked along with the current. Brilliant. Beautiful work. I still can't read this at all. Remember when there was a beautiful bridge here? Oh, can't actually get stable footing on that. The current's pretty gentle though, it seems like. Now that the flood has sort of leveled out. You might notice that I'm really eager to get out of the water though. And that's because I remember that they put a reduced frights option in the game. Just thinking, you know. I've played a video game or two before. Huh. So I assume, intuitively, that these pictures are going to be sequential. Right? And we learn to fish. Maybe they grew the trees, or maybe this is just like, maybe the trees are just meant to show... I guess they're not showing too much of a passage of time between the images. Why is this one so far away? Okay, that's fascinating. And something we will look into presently. And then this one is... The water levels rose, though. Well, let's have a look. Oh, right, the water. Well, I mean... Alright. Oh. Oh, my. These are corpses. Holy hell, these are corpses. There's this device here that clearly wants something. These are actual alien bodies, though. I don't want to, like, just skate past that. Would you accept my lantern? Is that what you want? Your thing's covered. I would like to leave the room now is the thing, actually. Ooh, sorry, I'm gonna shake it off a little bit there. Why is that scary? Like, I've played real horror games before. This shouldn't be that scary. I don't know why that bothers me so much. I mean, it's probably, like, partially contextual, right? Because it's not the kind of thing that happens in this space. Like, the rules of Outer Wilds are being violated a little bit, what I thought the rules were. I wonder if they'd take the lantern if it was lit. Like, okay. There's not a device or... and there's not like a button on it. Shining my own light on it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I had a moment of like real, actual, real world fear there. That I'm not 100% sure how to square with, Is that Ghost Rock? Hold on. We may yet be able to, Oh, wow. Take snapshot. How do I... Those buttons are so tiny. It looks like Ghost Rock. I don't remember the Ghost Rock just, like, creating a visual glow. Maybe it works differently in here, or maybe that's not Ghost Rock at all, and it's just something similar. So the wrap-up music ended. Okay, it looks like the energy wave is on its way. Well, it's definitely not lighting me up like Ghost Rock. That was different. That was a different look for that. I wonder if we're going to be able to construct a way of restarting the loop inside of the station. I sort of wonder if that's what the corpse room was. Hey, my dude, I have a story to tell you, Slate, my friend, whose name I certainly remembered. Alright, well. You know, the ship's a death trap, right? Oh yeah, it's a death trap, but it's like a really powerful death trap. What, you suddenly care about safety now? No, less than ever, it turns out. All right, well, I think that's where we're going to call it for today. Apologies that it took me 40 minutes to figure out how to do the thing. I am at maximum suspense, and I figure some of you are too, which, you know, for business reasons makes this a good time to close the episode because you're more likely to come back tomorrow. The intent with this series is for there to be another hour of exploratory gameplay here every weekday until we figure out the mystery of this creepy station full of corpses and whatnot. So, come back next time tomorrow for hopefully some revelations and also hopefully never having to return to the terrifying drowned corpse chamber. And we'll see you then.